listen to this pastor actually teach that God's okay with you having more than one spouse. Ridiculous.
There is a pastor, and he has 2 wives.
You can't have both women.
What was I supposed to do?
Why, you think you can have a bunch of wives? You got one wife! This is the way the world works!
Why?
And he says he has 2 beautiful wives. My second wife is expecting my 8th child. But here he is explaining polygamy. Again, this is not a good thing.
All lawful marriage is divinely ordained. If the woman is lawfully available, the union is brought about by God. This goes for a first wife. This goes for second wife, third wife.
First of all, if you just got familiar with the Bible and you read it for the first time, you're like, hey, look, there's polygamy. Congratulations on being able to read. Just because the Bible talks about people doing a thing does not mean that the Bible is happy with people doing the thing. The multiple marriages in the Bible tend not to work out particularly well. Rachel and Leah, it doesn't work out. Sarah and Hagar, it doesn't work out particularly well. Why? Because what is the ideal marriage? The ideal marriage is described at the very beginning of the book of Genesis. A man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, not his wives.
Ben is exactly right. Although there's a few obscure references to polygamy in the Old Testament among some of the saints, it is emphatically made clear in the New Testament that God refers to Adam and Eve, one man with one woman, as being the ideal and the supreme example of marriage. And here's a few passages for you. In Matthew chapter 19, verses 4 through 6, again in verse 8, Jesus specifically refers to the beginning. He says in verses 4 through 6, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife. So emphasis on from the beginning. Jesus is pointing back to the original man and woman, have Adam and Eve as an example for marriage. Matthew chapter 19, verse 8 says, he said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, permitted you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. Once again, Jesus is saying, hey, this was allowed under the law, but if we go back to the beginning, if we point to Adam and Eve as the supreme example, it was not so then. And again, we read passages like in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 2, where he says, this is where Paul's speaking to Timothy, he says, this is a faithful saying, if a man desires the position of a bishop, he desires a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, temperate, sober-minded, of good behavior, hospitable, and able to teach. So it's clear, even in that passage, husband to one wife. And if it was good for the bishop, it was good for everyone the bishop was leading. So this is clearly established in the New Testament. This pastor who is teaching this, who is taking on multiple wives and saying that biblically speaking, you can have multiple wives, either hasn't read his Bible or just doesn't care and is promulgating evil, because this is evil. For more content to help you with your Christian walk, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe.